Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new on my channel, then welcome. Happy New Year. We are in 2020. Can you believe it? I know I can't, because it's crazy. Time has flown by so quickly. Insane. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to look at all the products that I loved in 2019 for one reason or another. None of them are actually new products, I have to say. I'm not sure, but I don't think any of these products were launched in 2019. I could be mistaken, but I don't think they were. So we're not going to be talking about new products, we're just going to be talking about my top products of 2019, things that I used the most, things that I discovered last year and that I fell in love with, and things that just surprised me. But before I get into all of that, I have some things that I want to tell you, and also just to kind of give you a behind the scenes of like what's been happening, because it's been a while since my last video. I took a small break for myself. So if you are not interested in any of that, I will leave a timestamp on the screen and you can jump straight to the video. If you want to know what has been going on and what I have to say to you guys, then just keep on watching. If you're still here watching this intro, then first of all, thank you so much for being here. And secondly, brace yourselves, because I'm going to get very chatty. So actually the thanking part is something that I wanted to start off with, because somehow the last time that I checked my account right before I started filming this, I had reached 5,000 subscribers. And it's actually so crazy to me, because like only a week and a half ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, I had 3.5 thousand subscribers. And I mean, normally I get like a couple of hundred of subscribers a month. And now we've taken such a huge leap in like a week and a half. And it's literally crazy to me. And I look at the numbers and like I have no idea where you guys have come from, but I'm so grateful for you, for every single one of you, for being here and for deciding to click that subscribe button, if I could talk, and join my little group of amazing makeup lovers that we have over here. Seriously, it's such a sweet community. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for all of it. And also my most popular video, which is me following Monica's tutorial with the Jaclyn Hill palette, it has reached 100,000 views, which again to me is like, is this my channel? Is this happening to me? What is going on? I don't know, but the fact that 2020 has started off like this, it's insane. And I honestly, I kind of had a feeling that 2020 was going to be an amazing year. I still do. I still feel like 2020 is going to be a year where like so many wishes will be fulfilled. Stuff that you've dreamed about is going to be manifested into reality, and it's just going to be a lot of unexpected blessings. That's what I feel like. So I'm super excited for 2020, and I mean, starting the year off like this, wow. Honestly, wow. I'm so thankful, and I'm kind of lost for words. Thank you. Seriously, thank you so much for being here. Another thing I wanted to say is, if you can see, I hope that you can see, the lighting is a bit different now. I'm trying to upgrade my channel. I'm trying to upgrade the quality of my videos. So I'm hoping that you like this new setup, because I think it looks a bit better. And also, obviously, I have to mention the fact that the lighting is so much better is also, did I say also twice? Is largely thanks to the fact that I did some remodeling, and I'm doing the little quotation marks because I didn't really like remodel as such. I just painted the walls and moved the furniture around a bit. So yeah, it's my bedroom looks a bit different now, but honestly, it's nothing too interesting. And I know that one of you actually asked me to like make a video of it and show you guys around and stuff, and I explained as well that I'm not going to do that, just because I don't feel comfortable sharing my like private space in my bedroom and like that kind of thing on the internet. I hope that you guys understand, but I'm such a hermit. I love being at home. I love being in my little safe space, and I don't want to, I'm a very private person. I don't want to share too much of my little safe space, as I already said, on the internet for everyone to see. So I hope you guys understand. So that's the second thing I wanted to say. Very exciting about like doing the stuff. I feel so much better in my room right now. And also, as you can see, like the walls are white now, and it's like the lighting is so much better thanks to that. The third thing I wanted to tell you about was the reason why I had been gone for a while, why I had taken the break and what had been going on. Some of you know, some of you may not, especially if you're new to my channel. I have a podcast that I'm doing with one of my best friends. It's in Estonian, sadly, sorry guys. It's a weekly podcast, and it's kind of taken over a lot of my time. So that's also one of the reasons why, like, I'm trying very hard. I'm juggling to have all the podcast stuff done and all the video stuff done, and then the whole like remodeling was going on, and it was just a mess. I was living in like a heap of furniture and just pots of paint, and like it was not a good setting. I was actually kind of, wait, someone's calling me. As I was saying, I had the podcast things. I was trying to film the last video and like get it all done, because I knew that I wanted to get one video up before I started remodeling, so that you guys would have something to watch in between. So I was kind of like stressed out about a lot of things, because I felt like I was trying to do so much at one time. I didn't have a time to catch my breath. There was so much stuff going on all the time. And then to top it all off, a member of my family passed away. A lot of things was going on, and I just felt like, oh my God, I need a break. I need a week where I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to think about anything. I'm not going to think about any videos, any filming, any podcast issues, any like themes for next episode, stuff like that. I just wanted to like not think about anything. And that's what I did. I really needed it. I really, really did. During that time, I was able to finish my room and get everything set up so that I could go into the new year, or come into the new year, with like a fresh slate, like a clean slate, so to say. I don't know if a fresh slate, no, probably not a saying, but you get what I'm trying to say. That's like pretty much what was happening behind the scenes. And that's why I was away, and I was very like disconnected from social media and from everything. And then suddenly, as we got closer to 2020, things started happening, and I started gaining subscribers out of the blue, and like my videos started gaining popularity out of the blue, even more so. And yeah, it's now we're here. And I'm all ready for New Year and for creating more videos for you guys, and in this like kind of enhanced setup, let's just say it like that. I feel like it's a lot better than it was before, and I hope you guys agree. Oh my God, I've been talking so much and I have not gotten into the video yet. That is, I'm sorry, but I missed you guys, and I feel like I've been away for a while, and even though I needed it, I still am so glad to be back here filming and talking to you guys again. Oh my God, this is going to be one challenging video. This is probably not going to be a shock if you've been watching my videos for a while and you've been following my channel, but my favorite primer from 2019 was the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Now, I don't use this during the summer months because, as the name suggests, it is a very rich primer. It is enriched with shea butter and vitamin C and E. And honestly, if you have normal skin or skin that is slightly more on the dry side, you could probably get away with like using this as your moisturizer and primer, kind of 2-in-1, because it is a very, very moisturizing and nourishing primer. But just because I have very dry skin, I tend to use it on top of my daily moisturizer. I feel like it makes my skin really supple and very, very fresh. So I absolutely love it. I don't use primers every day, but when I do, I tend to reach for this one a lot. Let's move on to eyeshadow palettes. I have talked about this palette so many times on my channel. I have included it in so many of my favorites videos, but I need to give it a quick mention just because I do still absolutely love this palette, and I used it so much in 2019, and it is of course the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. Mine is really dirty, so don't mind that. But yeah, you guys know, oh my gosh. I mean, who hasn't seen this palette? It's gorgeous. It has everything you need. I've had my fair share of playing with this palette. I actually have a full playlist of all the videos where I either use this palette for tutorials, or I just like get ready with it or stuff like that. So if you are interested in finding out more tutorials with this palette, then go check my playlists, you will find it. But yeah, I just had to give it a quick mention because, as I said, it's still my one of my favorite palettes. Now this next one is something that I haven't used too much on my channel, but it definitely gets an honorable mention in this video because it is my favorite colorful eyeshadow palette, hands down. And it is the bPerfect and Stacey Marie Carnival palette. Oh boy. I just love the layout of all the eyeshadows. I feel like the color palette is so versatile, so colorful, but yet so wearable somehow. And it's just, every time I look at this palette, I just want to go crazy with colorful eye looks. So yeah, I do have a couple of tutorials or makeup looks that I'm doing using this palette, but I know that not that many people who watch my videos have this palette. So that's why I haven't really done too many looks using this, but it is definitely my favorite colorful palette that I own. So that's why I wanted to include it in this video. This next one is one of the palettes that for some reason, again, I don't really talk about too much on my channel and I haven't used on my channel. Maybe like once or twice, I can't remember. It is the Morphe 15N Night Master eyeshadow palette. Now, when we look at this palette, to be completely honest, it looks a bit lackluster, it looks a bit boring, and it has that kind of theme of Morphe eyeshadow palettes, at least what they used to be. I think they've kind of rectified it now, but it's like, it's all these different variations of browns. It just looks so similar, but honestly, on the eyes, it doesn't translate. On the eyes, this palette performs so beautifully, and every single time I use it, I just end up with looks that I absolutely love. And these shadows are so easy to blend out. Like the mattes are just gorgeous. And the shimmery shades are really beautiful. They're like these metallic, very, very nice shimmery shades. And obviously if you use any sort of setting spray or water or MAC Fix Plus or whatever you have, you can intensify these shadows and really amp up the shimmery quality of them. So I really, really, really like this palette. It's nice, it's small and compact, and I really like the sturdy packaging. This is a newer packaging. I really, really, really like this palette. I don't know how many times I've said it, but that is why I wanted to include it, because last year I did so many looks with this off camera yet again, but it's just one of those palettes that I know that I can turn to if I want to create a super easy and quick and beautiful smoky eye. Moving on, next we have the palette that I'm actually wearing on my eyes today as well. I just created this very, very easy and basic look because I didn't really feel like doing anything too elaborate. This is the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, and I have talked about this palette on my channel before. First of all, I think it's stunning. It is absolutely stunning. Secondly, whenever I use this palette, I don't know, my makeup just kind of creates itself almost, as weird as that sounds. It is so easy to create beautiful, stunning, breathtaking makeup looks with this palette. I don't know what it is, but it's just, maybe it's just the color scheme that all the shadows pair up together so well. But it's just pure joy. And every single time I do a look, like, I mean a proper look, not like two eyeshadows like I have on right now, but like a proper look with this palette, I get compliments on my eye looks every single time. This was the palette that I busted out every single time I had to create a look for like special occasions. The only reason I don't use it that much on my channel is because this palette is so expensive, and I'm not too sure whether I feel like it is completely worth its price point, but it is absolutely beautiful. It's a stunning palette, and if you can, and if you want to, splurge that kind of money on this eyeshadow palette, if you feel really drawn to these shadows, then I would say go for it. And last but not the least, from the eyeshadow palettes, I know we have lots of eyeshadow palettes, is the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. It's actually funny that I'm even including this in my video, because when this first launched, I didn't think anything of it. I looked at it and I was like, so what's new? Like, this is another neutral eyeshadow palette. There's nothing new, exciting, fresh, original about it. And then a friend of mine decided to gift this palette to me. And when I started using it, I was kind of like, oh, okay, I get it now. It's beautiful. And it's, again, one of those palettes that it almost like creates the makeup for you. It does everything on its own. Like, you don't have to work hard at all to come up with a beautiful look. It's just, the palette is so cohesive. All the colors work together beautifully. They are these rich and very, very creamy eyeshadows, which is kind of like usual for Anastasia. We all know the Anastasia formula. So in 2019, this got quite a bit of use, and I used this again for like special occasions and like when I really wanted to do some kind of extra glam makeup. That's when I turned to this. Now, this next product is getting an honorable mention because it surprised me probably the most. It is the Revolution Pro Pigment Pomade in the shade Ocean Blue. It was on sale and I got this for like a ridiculously affordable price. I think it was like a couple of euros or something. And I ordered this for a specific look, for like this neon-y look that I was creating actually with the Stacey Marie and bPerfect palette. I will link it on the screen for you guys as well. It works beautifully as an eyeliner as well, but I tried it in my waterline and I was gobsmacked. I was like, how is no one talking about this? This is so vibrant. This is so bright, so beautifully, richly pigmented. And it stays in the waterline as well for the whole day, which normally doesn't happen to me. Like most eye pencils and stuff like that, they wear off from my waterline rather quickly. But this one, it just stays put. I don't know. I think it's great. I think it's a great little thing, and it's an amazing little pomade to amp up your looks if you want to go with something a bit more colorful, add some more oomph to a look. Next, I want to quickly go over the concealers that I have in front of me. The first one, I'm sure, is no surprise. Everyone knows, everyone loves it. It is the Tarte Shape Tape, and mine is in the shade 22N. To this day, I have not found a concealer that would top this. It's stunning. It has great coverage. It's amazing. I'm wearing it today as well. So that is why I needed to. I had to include it in my 2019 favorites because it's still my most used concealer. But on top of that, I wanted to add the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, and mine is in the shade Light Ivory. I actually use the two concealers together quite a bit because this is more so on the yellow side, and then this is more so, it has like a slightly pinkish undertone, so it's great for cancelling out the blue hues underneath my eyes, even though this is really full coverage. Sometimes, because my under eyes are really, really bad, I need to use this on top, right in like the deepest hollows of my under eyes, and it kind of brightens it. It brightens it a bit. I love using these two together. I actually have both of them underneath my eyes today. If you don't really want to splurge on the Tarte Shape Tape, then just the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer is beautiful on its own as well. I used a crap ton out of it in 2019. Okay, so next let's talk about powders. Nothing has changed, honestly. For most of these things, for a lot of these things, I'm not gonna say most, but a lot of these things you guys have seen me talk about and you've seen me rave about. So that's why the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder is my #1 loose powder from 2019. I use it all the time to set my under eyes. It does crease a bit on me, but like every single concealer and every single powder does. But this creases a whole lot less than some of my other products. For instance, like the beloved Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder that everyone loves, that it's like a cult classic. It creases so bad on me. It dries up my under eyes really badly. It's bad. But this one doesn't do that, and that's why I absolutely love it. That's why it is still my #1 loose powder, and it was for 2019. I do have to give an honorable mention to this pressed powder as well, and it's weird that I'm even including it in my video because I have talked about this in my disappointing products video. It's an older video now, but I remember when I first got this, I was super disappointed by it. Now it's in my favorites because I use it again on a daily basis. This is the Wet n Wild pressed powder, Photo Focus pressed powder, I'm sorry, in the shade Warm Light. As you can see, again, I have hit major pan. I love using it underneath my eyes. Yeah, I forgot to mention, I don't use powder on my whole face. For those of you who are new and you don't know, because my dry skin doesn't do very well with powders, I tend to only use them underneath my eyes, and sometimes like on my T-zone where if I decide to apply concealer there. Normally I don't, but sometimes I do. So I only use it underneath my eyes, and it is absolutely gorgeous, but I don't use it on its own. I usually go in with loose powder first, and then like very lightly I tap into this and pat underneath my eyes because it adds some extra coverage, which I'm very, very grateful for because, as I already said, my under eyes are a nightmare. So that is why this powder is getting a huge honorable mention because I have used this throughout 2019 a whole lot. I want to very quickly get this one out of the way because I don't really get too excited about mascaras. I don't know what it is about them, but I'm kind of like about mascaras. But I have to talk about this one in particular because this is my favorite mascara. I've tried different waterproof mascaras, but this is the only one that works as well as it does. It is the L'Oreal Paradise Ecstatic Waterproof Mascara. I love it, and nothing else from the drugstore compares. This is the best mascara that like really holds the curl of my lashes, and it really makes them super dark, super fluffy, and it's just great. It does everything that I want a mascara to do for me. When it comes to mascaras, it is very important for me that the mascara is drugstore, just because, as I said, I don't get too excited about mascaras. I don't really want to spend a whole lot of money on a mascara because to me it's just like I need it, but I just want it to like perform and hold a curl and make my lashes black and thick and voluminous. And if I can find that in a drugstore mascara, then why the hell would I even go out and spend a whole lot of money on like a fancy mascara? So anyway, that's just my way of thinking. So I love it. I am very glad that there's this drugstore mascara that works so well for me, and I had to talk about it. How did I manage? Okay, I'm sorry. Foundation. I was supposed to talk about foundation first before all the concealers and the powders, but whatever. I thought about this long and hard, and I came to the conclusion that there's only one foundation that I really can bring forth and say this is my #1 foundation from 2019. Now, I'm not going to talk about my Catrice HD liquid foundation because you guys, I've probably talked so many times about it that you're probably sick of hearing me talking about it. Just know that it is still my favorite from the drugstore. But definitely the one that I used probably the most throughout 2019 is my NARS Sheer Glow, and mine is in the shade Dovey #4. I absolutely love it. I'm wearing it today as well. I just feel like it works wonders for my skin. It doesn't look necessarily glowy, but it just makes my skin look so beautiful and radiant and fresh and supple. And even when I have a lot of like texture or a lot of bumps and breakouts, which as a matter of fact I do have right now because I don't know, but something dodgy is going on with my face. You can't really tell because, as I said, I've covered it up with this, but yeah, it's not in a good state right now. This foundation just glides on and it makes your skin look so skin-like and so beautiful and healthy, and I love it. I used it quite a bit on a daily basis as well, but I tend to save this one for like special occasions or when I know that I need my makeup to look really good, I need my base to look flawless. That's when I tend to use this one because it's just one of those that never lets me down. Oh my god, you guys, we are getting closer to the end. I feel like I'm doing pretty well this time. So I want to go over the highlighters really quickly. One of them is something that I'm pretty sure I've mentioned in like some of my favorites at least, but it is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Champagne Pop. You can kind of see the pan beaming through this highlighter, so I'm not too sure how long I have left with it before I hit pan and start running out of it. As the name suggests, it is champagne tone, but I feel like it's more so like a rose gold champagne tone. It is beautiful though. Oh, I love it. Can you see? I can't say that it gives you this like wet look, but it's just kind of natural, but also very highlighty. You guys know I don't like very beaming highlighters, like very in your face. I don't like those kinds of highlighters. And even if I have some, I tend to tone them down with like a powder brush. This one is just, it's a perfect in between. It's not too highlighty and it's not too subtle that I can't really tell it's a highlighter either. It's just perfect. And then also from the drugstore, actually, I'd even say that these two are top the Becca one, just because I've used them so much and I am wearing those two on my face today as well. They are the Milani Strobe Light Instant Glow Powder in the shade #2 Day Glow, and this is the e.l.f. Baked Highlighter in the shade Moonlight Pearls. Moonlight Pearls, if I could hold them up. These are definitely the kind of highlighters that do not give you this like beaming highlight that you can see from space. It's not like that at all. They are kind of subtle, but you can build them up to be a bit more intense. I don't know, to me, again, they are just perfect. They are perfect, especially for every day. And the reason I do use them on their own as well, because they are both gorgeous. But the reason why I use them together oftentimes is because this one is more so on the golden side and this is more so on the pearly rosy side. So when I mix the two together, that's when I feel like I get the perfect combination. I'm going to try and see if I can swatch them for you guys so that you could see. So this is the Milani one just on its own right here. So you can see it's actually, oh my God, they look so identical with the Champagne Pop. They literally look like dupes. Wow, that's weird. I've never noticed that. And then this is the e.l.f. Baked Highlighter. Oh my goodness, can you see how gorgeous this is? This is like the glow from within. This is that kind of highlighter and I absolutely love it. When I mix the two together, kind of layer them on top of each other, that's when you get, can I see? That's when you get this. And it's just, oh, it is beautiful. Do you see? Like this to me is like a true champagne kind of highlighter. As I said, I love both of them to death and I use them so much as well. And again, they are from the drugstore. They are really affordable, which just it makes me so happy when you can find such great products from the drugstore. Now this next one is a bronzer that I used quite a bit last year. I wouldn't say that it's like my #1 bronzer, but just because I ran out of my #1 bronzer, which is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I haven't repurchased. I don't even know why. I use this quite a bit. This is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronze Coconut Perfect Tan in the shade Tantastic. You can see that it is a huge bronzer. It is beautiful. The undertone is just right. It gives you this kind of warmth to the skin, but you can also use it as a, what's the word? Oh my God. Contour. Yeah, sorry. My mind just blanked there. You could also use it as a contour just because it is cool toned enough. It's not too ashy and it's not too orange. It is a perfect in between for someone with like light skin tone. So if you have a similar skin tone to mine, then you will really love it. And it's great. It's subtle, but you can kind of build it up. So I really like this. But as I said, my favorite is the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula, but because I have run out of it, if you watched my decluttering video, you probably saw I got rid of my last little nugget. So that is why this one is getting an honorable mention, because I did use it quite a lot last year. And it is a good bronzer, but I prefer the Physicians Formula one. And we are down to our last two products. Can you believe it? I know, I'm kind of shocked too. I'm going to start with the Milani one. So this is my favorite, one of my favorite lipsticks. And again, I haven't used it that much on camera, but I use this seriously on a daily basis. It's just one of those that I chuck on my lips. This is actually a new one. I just busted this new one out because I literally ran out of my second one, well, my first one, I should say, like yesterday. So it's just perfect timing. But this is the, oh my God, did I even say? This is the Moisture Matte Lipstick in the shade Innocence. It's just one of those. It's just so easy. Do you see? It is kind of like a warm peachy kind of nude, and it probably looks a bit brighter with this lighting than it does in real life. But it's a beautiful, subtle, slightly pinky, but more so nude lipstick. And honestly, the formula is not my favorite because it does emphasize the dry patches if you have them on your lips. And because my lips are really, really dry right now, I didn't apply it today. When it comes to lipsticks, like bullet lipsticks, this is definitely in my either like #1 or #2. And let's just get the last one over with as well. So this one is actually the lipstick that I'm wearing right now. It is the MAC Matte Lipstick in the shade Honey Love. This, when it comes to formula, is so much more nourishing and moisturizing. Even though it is matte, it doesn't give you like a glossy or shiny finish, but it doesn't emphasize the dry areas on your lips as much. As I said, my lips are really, really cracked right now. I decided to go with this, and they are quite, you can see they are a bit similar. They are quite similar. But this one is more so on the peachy side. The Milani one is a bit more pink. And I tend to gravitate towards the shade Honey Love the most because it just goes with every single eye look that I do. That with the Milani Moisture Matte in the shade Innocence are the two lipsticks that I probably used the most throughout 2019. I hope you guys liked my little collection of products, and I'm really interested, what did you love the most? Like what is the #1 product that you would bring out from your collection that you used the most or that you loved the most in 2019? Leave them in the comment section. I'm really interested to know so we can compare and see what the differences are, what the similarities are. But anyway, that was the video and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you guys know, you know what to do. I mean, you know, just click that little subscribe button and give me a thumbs up as well. It would help me out heaps. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next video, which by the way, will most likely be a Tati Beauty tutorial. Stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!